Hey everyone, this is Abigail Barella with Sparkle and Shine Guidance. I wanted to make a quick video of Kobe Bryant's chart because being an astrologer, I'm always interested to look and see at people that really excelled in their field, what their chart has to say. And then also because I'm a big basketball fan, and it really he was very influential into the game, obviously. He's the only player to have 2 jerseys retired on the LA Lakers. And so let's just start at the beginning, his chart, okay? He's a Virgo. He is born August 23rd, so he's a new Virgo. And what that means is he came in to start something totally fresh and new for him. Likely, if he had had past incarnations, he was not a basketball player. He was doing something totally different. Virgo has to do with service and service to the self. If you know anything about him, that he trained very hard. He came into the game at 17, which is he was only the 6th player in the NBA to do this. So he came right in off of fresh from high school, and right from the beginning he wanted to learn and take in as much information. Even as a kid, I was reading that, like, I think it was one of his uncles, I'm not quite sure who, somebody would send him videos and he would watch the videos, and he always would say he would ask other players once he even was on the team, or he would ask players that have retired, ask them about their game. He wasn't ever too proud to ask them about their game and to learn new techniques and to really up his game and watch himself play and learn from that. And this is totally a Virgo. Now his sun was in the 8th house. And so this is someone who is also about transformation and growth and like the Phoenix rising. So he had many Phoenix rising moments, not just in his career, but in his personal life. Definitely, with his marriage, and I won't go into all of that, but in his personal life, he had a lot of the Phoenix rising, having to go into the depths of the not so pretty and come out fresh and new, even with his family of origin. And this is not something out of the ordinary when you're super famous, right? Like, things come up. And so that's 8th house, and that is his sun in the 8th house conjunct Saturn. And when you have Saturn, the planet of form, discipline, kind of a harsh lessons, his sun was conjunct that. So he had massive success, but he also had massive lessons and growth, and I'm sure like everybody has, but he definitely had his fair share of harsh lessons, especially with the 8th house having to do with we say the 8th house, it's Scorpio's house, so it has to do with sex, death, transformation, drugs, anything like transformative. Okay, not only that, so he has his sun there and his Saturn there saying you're gonna do this work, you're gonna go in, you're gonna do this work. And he also had the North Node in Virgo in his 8th house, okay? So here's someone who's really in their North Node. When we talk about the North Node, it is our Dharma. It's what our soul is asking us to do. Now, when you have your North Node in the 8th house, this can be, showing you what the 8th house has to do with other people's resources or sharing resources. And he was a philanthropist, and very much so, and would give to organizations that really favored the underdog, and like working with veterans, working with all sorts of different populations that were underserved. Okay, so that's important. And then also the North Node in the 8th house denotes an important kind of journey or path in the way that he went out. It also is interesting, his Virgo, it being in Virgo, and Virgo is service and service to others. And, he was such a great father. He had all daughters, and he came from a family he was the only boy. So he had 2 older sisters. So he was surrounded by the feminine, and this is also the 8th house. The 8th house is surrounding yourself with the feminine. Even though he's very masculine, he has a fondness or lessons to learn from being around a bunch of feminine people, spirits, whatever. So that was definitely the case. And then he also has this beautiful trine with Earth. And this is so much so about creating success in this lifetime, is he has a trine, which is ease. He can do it. He came from a family where, it's not like they were you know, it's not like he was riding the coattails. He was an amazing player, and it was really his work ethic that got him where he was. But he was born to a basketball player, so it is helpful to see that. Like, it was kind of like this blessing. So anytime you see a trine in a chart, it's going to show you where the blessings are or where the ease is. So he was born into this family. He had the opportunity to travel to another country, so he learned Italian. He spent some of his childhood in Italy, and he loved it. And so this is the earth too. Like, he came into the game, he was only 17, but he had these experiences where he had traveled. He wasn't just some kid, you know, he didn't just come from Compton or like somewhere like, you know, inner city where he'd never seen the outside world, like he hadn't traveled or anything like that. No, he had these experiences. He was nearly fluent in, I think maybe he was fluent in Italian, which is also the language. It's like his Mercury and in Leo, and just all of that earth creating ease for him around communicating. So that's really interesting, and just his ability to, he was someone who could go into situations and kind of come across as not too, he was intimidating, but not too intimidating to not be able to dialogue. Okay, so that's the language and growing up and being able to work his way up because of that ease with the earth trine. And his moon is in Taurus in the 4th house. And so moon in the 4th house is someone who just likes to be home and likes creating a nice home. Obviously, he had this, and he also had moon in the 4th house can be a strong relationship with a partner or a strong relationship with the family, especially family of origin, but also the family that you create. And he definitely had this. I would love to look at his wife's chart to know more, but strong connection to his daughter, strong connection to his wife, and then also to his family of origin. So that's really interesting. And just seeing the trine between his sun and his moon also gives this gift in the way he comes across. There's nothing jarring about him. And I think it's also interesting, his parents named him after Kobe beef, which is like the grand earth trine. It's like, what's more earth, like from the earth? And just, he has this way of just seeming very worldly, and even from a young age. So that is his chart. That is his chart. I send so many condolences and just pure love and light to his family and to his journey and his daughter's journey. And I wanted to do this as an offering. So have a great day, guys. Bye.